Welcome back to part two of the best president America could ever have. Now, apologize for the break. This needs to be said and is being said. So, like, share, and subscribe if you desire, if you have not already. But record this, keep it in your records, catalog it if you will, because you're going to see all of the things that I'm saying you and have been saying to you about our government, about the world in which we live. If you haven't already seen it, and it's unfolding before us all of the time. But let's get back to the point, the premise of this video. As I said, we have never had a president that represents the people. All of us. We've come from slavery, speaking of black folks for the most part. I'm not saying that whites have never been slaves or enslaved at some point in the history of the world, because they have. So you can't use that as an excuse or an attack against me. I acknowledge that. I'm not going to deny any part of history. It's all part of our existence and our past. But it shouldn't be the present. But, as I said, we've come through slavery. In 1865, slavery supposedly was abolished. But was it really? Or was there a new manufacturing of the ideology of slavery? I mean, how could your oppressor just be okay with letting you go after he has benefited from you for hundreds of years? Do you think that would be easy? It's like making $100,000 or more annually and be reduced to $25,000. Who would accept that laying down? No one. They're going to try to find a loophole. They're going to try to find some way to continue to benefit from the slave. So, what's interesting? Just a footnote. January of 1865, slavery ended. April of 1865, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Same year, December of 1865, the Ku Klux Klan came into existence. All of those things happened in the same year. You think about it. So now, has America ever apologized for its crimes against humanity? Should we wait for an answer? You know the answer. It never has. No president has ever given a heartfelt apology for slavery. Everybody else around black folks has received reparations, but black folks. Number one, black folks were never considered human beings. 3/5 of a human being. They were chattel. The women were okay to rape and molest. The men were sodomized, castrated, hanged and burned, beat beyond recognition, drugged by trucks, shot and killed. No one has taken accountability that has ever been in the office of a president on this land that we call America. And I'm still a patriot, I'm telling you that. Because I represent what the country is supposed to really be represented by. And that is loving your neighbor as yourself. Honoring everyone as if they were part of your family. That's not necessarily the fabric of America today. You see, it's all about money. It's capitalism. Is that a bad word? Shh. Some people don't want to talk about it. Is this country a God-fearing country? By no means. And if you're honest, you know it to be true as well. America doesn't fear God, the Creator. There are people in America, there are families and groups that are poor, working poor, middle class, that fear God. They do. My hat goes off to them. And it is a beautiful, noble, and wonderful thing to acknowledge the Creator and to walk within that faith. Because you are America. But do the people in power in America, Congress, the Senate, the presidency, the judicial branch, federal and state and local, do they fear God? Absolutely not. They fear being poor. They fear falling through the cracks. They want to be in power by any means necessary, even if it means destroying other people's lives that are not like them, that are not part of the 1%. You see, corporations run America, and they have for quite some time. The president is just a figurehead. He always has been. No matter what name you attach to it, Bush, Clinton, Reagan, Nixon, Obama, and now Trump, it doesn't matter what the name is. They're still figureheads. They don't run the country. They are an illusion. They give us the impression they're running the country, but somebody behind them pulling their strings like a marionette. So, what are you saying, brother teacher? If I could vote and would vote for the best president of America, it would have to be someone that fears God. And we've never had anyone in office in 40 plus presidents that's ever feared God. Because if we had, we wouldn't have mass genocide and murder by American military as giving the order by the people in power in America to go over to all of these countries, raping, killing, stealing, pillaging, if they believed in God. That's really it. It's that simple. America has a dark past, and the present is even darker. Don't tell me that you believe in God when your actions don't measure. They just simply don't. Men who truly believe in God and the Creator, I call him Yahweh by his Hebrew name, some call him Allah, but the Almighty and the Supreme Being and the Creator are sufficient as well. If you really believe in God and you're the president of millions of people, why doesn't it show? Why do you espouse hate and racism and greed and even murder across the planet? A real president would represent the values of God and would entreat everyone as one big human family. None to be segregated or separated from the whole. We are all important. Blacks, whites, Latinos, Jews, homosexuals, lesbians, whatever. We are all human beings. We are all family. Asians, Middle Easterners, makes no difference what your origin is. Wherever you are right now in America, you're part of the fabric of America. We've had a whole lot of propaganda pushed down the pipeline to us, and we're believing anything these days. One of the worst things that you could ever lose is your mind and the ability to think for yourselves. That's what's wrong with America. We have fallen for the okie doke. We have been programmed and brainwashed into believing that the people in power really do care about us. But it's evident that they don't.
Yeah,